right, in the last podcast we talked about why India will lose this series 5-0. Obviously, Bhuvan said 3-1, India will lose. Sanju Manju said 3-1, India will lose. I said that's the best case scenario, but I'm still sticking my guns and my ass on this thing to 5-0. But right now we're going to talk about why India might not even lose this series. I still don't think India will still lose the series, but let's talk about few reasons. I have a few reasons, and then one of the reasons, do you want to start, Sanju, do you want to tell me one of the reasons that India, do you have one solid reason India might win a test match, first of all? Just give me one reason if you have, or you want me to start?
No, I think it's the England batting lineup. They are fragile, and that is the only reason where I think we can win. And if we are able to take all the lower order wickets also, because that has been our bane of existence.
All right, fair enough. So I think Bhuvan, you agree with that, but do you want to add something on that? You don't like Jack Crawley, Sibley? Sibley is such a great batsman that Mark Waugh has been talking so much shit about him. Mark Waugh said, I don't even know how this guy went through the ranks. There must be a real massive scarcity because this guy has no class. This guy has nothing. How did the hell this guy is playing Test cricket? That's what Mark Waugh was saying, who they call Junior.
I kind of agree with Sanju Manju there. The only English, they have to screw themselves with their batting for us to win a match, because I think if there is a chink in this English team, in their armor, is their top order batting.
All right, fair enough. So I still have the same thing, the Indian order, entire batting apart from Joe Root, and Joe Root can still also be tamed, right? Don't go on 3 double century that he scored, but you really see rest of the Indian series, he did not get a single half century, right? Even against New Zealand, he was not very good. I think he may have done very well in the first test match, but again he got 40s or something. But he was not the same Joe Root who's going to actually make a really big 100, which has been the situation with him forever. We're going to put stats here because he's got a world record for making the maximum half centuries and not converting into centuries, right? We already know that. So quickly, also we are on Joe Root. So I want to talk again. You don't have to pitch in here, but Joe Root's captaincy is good, but he's very, very defensive captain. And when you're so defensive, that can be one reason India might not win a test because of that, but England might not win a test match and end up drawing because of that captaincy. Remember the first test match England won in India? They could have actually drawn that had whatever his captaincy, he was very, very, but India eventually just capitulated and they won the match anyway. But Shane Warne was talking a lot of shit that just because they won the match, they still made the wrong decision, and I completely agree that he is very, very highly defensive. And the other thing, I'm just going to talk about why India can draw a match. Other one is English weather. So if English weather stays true to the English weather right now, apparently it's very, very hot. It's only 27 degrees, but it's very, very hot. It's very, very hot. Okay, so if English weather comes in, it can actually save India, because if you remember anything, something could have saved in the WTC final, it would have been the weather, because in 6 days, they played 2 days and some few overs, right? It could have easily saved their ass. So these are 2 reasons why India can actually draw a match, and also because of some corona happens and sometimes the match gets suspended and not played. That is one reason. So you gave me one reason, Sanju, that one of the reasons that India can win is because of their batting. I think I'll give you a couple of reasons, and you can either talk about that or talk about something else. Now, one thing is, I have always criticized Ashwin about his fuck man-cading. But again, Ashwin has never been really good overseas, but he thinks he's a great bowler. But in Australia, everything is about confidence at the end of the day. I think he's very, very confident. He's very he's very egomaniac, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I think he's going to be good. And I think Kohli, as not Sanju Bhuvan, was saying that he's always looked good. I think in the 5 test series, he's going to come into his own because he loves test cricket. Unlike Jasprit Bumrah been shitting all over, he's going to come good. And then I also think there is Dom Bess. If Dom Bess gets selected, we're definitely going to win something, right? Something or the other. And by the way, one bad news for India, that England's amazing rotation policy has now been officially dumped. They're like, we're done with this thing. That would have won us some matches, right? But that is out. So it's not going to be. So we're all relying on Virat Kohli, Ashwin, and Dom Bess right now, and England's ordinary batsmen to actually collapse. So this is my quick fire on this. You can give me your view on this thing, that you feel any other reason that India can win a test match or draw a test. I think you only talked about draw, right? No, I think you talked about batting. But how do you still say that England batting collapses? At the same time, you think we have to make sure that Indian batting does not collapse and India's bowling stays good? Because can you see any reason why England's bowling might not be good? in any test match for any reason whatsoever?
Could be because of the conditions changing. I don't know, because this is the end of the season for England. England, they have played a lot of.
Okay, I'm just going to
matches.
cut you short. It's not going to happen. That was a trick question. It's not going to happen. Okay, so just tell me that can India genuinely win a test match with the bowlers that we have if England's batting does not do very well? Because we can't expect them to collapse in both the matches, right? We still have good batsmen, because you still know Rory Burns is not great, but he will keep fending. He's like our Pujara, right? He will still end up scoring like just 30 runs of like 100 balls. Tom Sibley, again, they still averaging 35. They still have Crawley, who has class. Okay, he can still come good. Joe Root is there. Then Ben Stokes is going to come in, and you know that Voxie and everybody can play, right? They can play, and even
Right.
Stokes can hit like a couple of sixes here and there. He can make a quick fire 24. They are not like our lower order. So a genuine reason I'm looking for that India can. You guys all said 3-1, right? But where's that one coming from?
Yeah, I think that the same thing. The one would be
Paint a
when,
scenario, please. Please paint a scenario. Like how is this
So
gonna happen?
it'll be, yeah. So what would happen is one of the innings, the English batsman will collapse, and
Fair enough.
and then what should happen is that we should also make some runs. We should get some lead, and then then our bowlers come good and take all the 10 wickets in the fourth innings to win the match. So similar kind of scenarios should happen to actually for us to win the test match. The England batting has to collapse in one innings. Otherwise, I don't see us winning any of the test matches.
Are you guys favoring any stadium? Because see, first is in the Nottingham, right? Then it's Lords, then it's Leeds, then it's Oval, and then eventually ending the fifth match at Manchester, right? So all these matches, I don't think we have any day-nighter, right? So which is at least which guarantees that India is not going to lose completely outright, because every match is starting. Yeah, so we have no day-nighters. Bhuvan, do you have anything else to add on that? That where is your one coming? Because it's a fair scenario that he gave me.
One thing, yeah. I think, see, the English batsman or batting will collapse in one of the test matches, that's for sure. And where we will cash in is Rishabh Pant playing an extraordinary innings. It may not be like a 150 or something. He'll in a low scoring match, if he hits a quick fire 70, 80, 90, that's going to be crucial, and that might be match winning for us. That's where I see, our one win coming in. English batting collapsing, that means assuming that the Indian bowlers have bowled well. And from the batting side, Rishabh Pant scoring a quick fire 70, 80, 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah,
also assuming that either Kohli or at least Pujara, somebody coming good, and also Ashwin has to like come into his metal,
See,
right? He has to perform.
Unlike other countries or other conditions, in England, a 400 is like as good as a 500, 550 in subcontinent. 400 first inning score is exceptional. Anywhere above anything above 350 is par. So in such things, like a batsman, like let's say a Pujara hanging around and Pant scoring freely, and they have like 150 partnership, that's great. And I think in the 5 test matches there will be one of the innings where such a thing may come off.
All right, fair enough. So, because I was very critical in the WTC final, the final team that they chose, I felt like they chose the team which was the best team across the WTC cycle instead of choosing horses for the courses. So, if this time they chooses horses for the courses, I think it should be okay, and India should be okay with getting one out of it. And England has to really screw up. So, again, another final word here on this thing. Do you see, and just give me a best case scenario and give me a worst case scenario. And you've already given me 3-1, that is you feel this is what's going to happen. But what do you feel the best case scenario and what is the worst case scenario? That do you actually think that India can actually pull off an upset just the way they did in Australia? Like, do you see any scenario in your best case scenario that they can win against England in England?
The only scenario I think where I see we can win is a lot of matches are rain curtailed, and we don't get we get only couple of matches or maybe 3 matches where the game actually we have enough time to finish, and or something like the English batting collapses in the first test match, and then they all go in a panic mode, like what should we do, because they have already selected few newcomers. I think couple of them from the practice match, the guy who made 100, and then the other guy,
Hamid.
I don't remember the name. Hamid. So
Okay.
so they have selected 2 people. So there is a concern for regarding their batting. So if India can actually go, start well and restrict the English batsmen in both the innings, then there will be a panic situation in England, because they have lost a lot of test matches recently. So there is a talk that, I mean, there is an anxiety there that they want to actually go out and win this series. There are a lot of, I mean, so it's like that kind of scenario can happen. Then we might see a surprise series win for India, but that's really unlikely. I mean, not unlikely, but very very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy it, but fair enough. I think that was a fair answer. So, final word from you, Bhuvan.
I think one.
Oh, by the way, maybe I was not paying attention. Did you give me the best scenario and the worst scenario? What is
Yeah,
the
the
best for India?
The best scenario would be in an Indian series win, which could be something like 2-1.
Give me a number.
2-1. I don't
2-1.
see.
And what's the worst case scenario? You agree with my 5-0?
5-0, yeah.
All right. Come on, Bhuvan. Yeah.
Okay, so I will start with one reason where I think for me the best scenario is drawing the series, and it will be 2-2, and the worst will be 5-0. And why the 2-2 will happen is, understand that the English pitches, like I think Sanju Manju started on this point but didn't build on it, but English pitches are slowing down. Did you see, if you see the last T20 against Pakistan, the spinners bowled 27 out of 40 overs. The pitches were that slow, they were turning. There is so much county cricket the whole season, like last 2 months, all grounds have been played on. The pitches are slow and getting sluggish, and our spinners can come in. And that's where I think
Right.
if Jadeja is in the team, he'll become handy. And if we take a punt on Akshar, if the pitch is really slow in one of the 4th or 5th matches, and you see on the 4th day or 5th day it turns, I see something like this happening, where our spinners come into the play, and we win a couple of test matches.
So, what is the best is 2-2, and what is the worst case scenario?
I don't think it'll be 5-0. I think worst case will be 4-0 or 4-1.
All right, fair enough. So, my final word is that the best case scenario is India actually losing 2-1. And the best case scenario for the worst case scenario is obviously, which I don't even think is the worst case scenario. I think it's just a fair scenario. It's 5-0. And I can tell you my direct review of both of you, because at the end of the day, if I'm incorrect, I know I'm going to get so much hate from everybody. But right now, I will give you my peace of mind. Both of you are sold. You are BCCI's lackeys. You're getting paid by them. And I don't think you got to take your blinkers off, because India is going to get smash hammered in England. It's going to happen. Even the rain is not going to stop. The only rain is going to be coming from here. It's going to be raining forever. India is never going to forget this series. And at the end of this, somebody is not going to play for
Hey man,
India.
don't ruin my chances of getting into the BCCI approved panel of commentators. There's no.
Dude, you're already in. You're already shooed in because of whatever you've been saying. And now Sanju Manju is actually betraying me from my own podcast. I'm not very happy about it. But I want to say, at the end of this test series, this is my real prediction. At the end of this test series, at least one person will never play for India in a test match against the Sena countries. This is not a Sena in Hindi. This is South Africa, England, New Zealand and Australia. And that person's picture is out there. I'm not going to say his name, but we all know because blunt bastards love him. He's just a little jinx. I'm just like a jinx thing. All right, on that note, we'll end this podcast, and 100 is started, Olympics has started. Premier League is going to start, but please watch India versus England. And if India wins, I'll be very happy. I was born in India, but I have no sympathies for anybody, and I don't even care for England. But I'm just being honest about it. But if these two BCCI cronies turn out to be right, well, I will shave my head and I'll do a next podcast with complete bald head. And I promise you that I'm a man of my word. I watch Salman Khan's movies, so don't even disrespect me, because I disrespect myself all the time. That is what Salman Khan does. All right. On that note, thank you, Sanju Manju, and thank you, Bhuvan. You have something to say?
All right.
No, I was just saying that we, since Olympics has started, we have already won a silver medal. At one point
We
of
have?
time, yeah,
We have?
Weightlifting.
Is it
yeah,
serial?
yeah.
What
We-
the fuck? In what?
in
standing?
weightlifting, in weightlifting,
Standing. Weightlifting, okay.
yeah,
Standing is not an
Yeah.
Olympic sport.
and
Wow.
at
It's
one
a female?
Yeah.
female,
Female?
yeah, female.
My goodness.
So we already
stunned.
have a lot of movies lined up, but the most interesting part was at one point of time we were at the second position in the medal list, and that was really amazing to
Take
see.
the screen grab. Take the screen grab.
Everyone is
This is
taking
never
it
going to happen
already.
again. Everyone's taking it. Pass it on, baby. Pass it on. So I personally thank you for coming in, Bhuvan. Thank you for coming in, Sanju, Manju. And I think at the end of the day, we'll find out who's right, who's wrong. One of us will be right because we've given so many predictions. So good luck and keep watching Olympics. Hopefully we can win some silver and gold and bronze and maybe some other colors in standing also, because that's my favorite sport. And I really hope to win an Olympic medal in that. Take care. Have a good weekend and keep watching. We'll be back. Even if you don't like us, we will be back. Like and subscribe. Bye bye now. Take care.
Bye.